Tonight, the country is saying goodbye to former President Jimmy Carter, who made his more than 4 decades in retirement a remarkable second act dedicated to philanthropy and faith. As Christian Benavides reports, Carter, who lived until he was 100 years old, faced several health challenges in his later years, but pressed on with a joyful spirit.
James Earl Carter Jr., the 39th President of the United States, was surrounded by his family when he died peacefully at home in Plains, Georgia on Sunday. Former President Carter celebrated his 100th birthday in October, along with a backyard military flyover honoring his service in the Navy. Outside the Carter Center in Atlanta, mourners are leaving flowers, candles, and signs like this one, saying, "We love you, President Carter." At the U.S. Capitol and the White House, the flags have been lowered to half-staff. The Empire State Building was bathed in red, white, and blue lights to honor the former president. A moment of silence was held for Carter before the Washington Commanders' Atlanta Falcons game outside the nation's capital. President Biden is among countless world leaders and dignitaries to express their condolences.
Today, America and the world, in my view, lost a remarkable leader. He was a statesman and humanitarian. And Jill and I lost a dear friend. I've been hanging out with Jimmy Carter for over 50 years, it dawned on me. Jimmy Carter lived a life measured not by words, but by his deeds.
In 2023, Carter said goodbye to his beloved wife of 77 years. Rosalynn, the former peanut farmer turned governor of Georgia, was elected president in 1976 in a race against President Gerald R. Ford.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
Next month marks 48 years since Carter was sworn into office. His single term in the White House saw the highs of negotiating the Camp David Accords, bringing peace between Egypt and Israel, and the lows of the Iranian hostage crisis. In the years after leaving office amid defeat to Ronald Reagan in 1980, Carter's human rights and social welfare campaigns helped earn him the Nobel Peace Prize. For decades, Carter built houses with Habitat for Humanity.
Morning, everybody. Morning.
And drew national crowds to his Sunday school classes. Late in life, he battled a series of medical challenges, including cancer, a broken hip, and surgery to relieve pressure from bleeding on his brain. The longest-living former president spoke to churchgoers about his own mortality.
I didn't ask God to let me live, but I just asked God to give me a proper attitude toward death. And I found that I was absolutely and completely at ease with death.
To the end, Jimmy Carter led a life of public service that impacted and inspired millions. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
The time for racial discrimination is over.
We'll have 0 cases of guinea worm in Sudan. I was surprisingly at ease. I've had an exciting and adventurous and gratifying existence, and I'll be prepared for anything that comes.